Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna alhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. You're listening live to Radio Ramadan Wolverhampton 87.8 FM. Alhamdulillah, this is Yusuf Shafi in conversation with. And today we've got Bilal Academy over from Walsall in Palfrey. Palfrey and Walsall, who have come here to talk about their academy and talk about the innovative and new aspects of how they are spreading the deen of Islam and working for the community and providing not just a simple masjid but also providing a whole host of community services and facilities at Bilal Academy in Walsall. I'm joined by guests in the studio, Maulana Haroon and Maulana Isakji, and with their excellent work we are able to learn about the good activities that are and the wonderful work that's going on at Bilal Academy. Before the break, Maulanas, we were talking about how the academy was set up. We discussed its history and the focus of how it's more than just a masjid. It's more than just for Salah and for Jummah. It is also there to actually provide for the services that the young need, the services that the elderly need within the community. In this half, I want to also please focus on some fundraising. I want to also mention our telephone number if people want to phone in to make pledges. It's 01902 972 150. And of course, community, you need to please remember that if you do wish to donate, you can just turn up to the Bilal Academy. It is there in Palfrey. I've got the address here with me. It is 33 Park Street, Walsall West, West Midlands. So
Milton Street. Milton Street. Yeah, 119 Milton Street.
My apologies. The address there is of the bank, isn't it? That's the bank details. You'll end up going to the bank then. which will be useful as well in its own way, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's an opportunity for you to maybe deposit some money. But yes, no, Milton Street in Walsall.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those days. It must be because it's the month of Ramadan. I'm all my numbers and dates and everything are all over the place today, aren't they? So Milton Street, yes. So if you please turn up to Milton Street, it'd be an opportunity for you to also please contribute, especially in this month of Ramadan. So if you do wish to come to the studio, telephone the studio now, it's 01902 972 150. Maulana Isakji, so let's bring you back in. There's a particular focus around the work that's being done with the elders and the coffee club, and there's some interesting stories around that. So can you please let our viewers know more about that activity?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, one of the activities with the elderly women, actually we were very worried and concerned that many of us have mothers, elderly in our homes, and there's a communication barrier, language barrier. Many of them have lost their husbands many years ago. They become widows, and that loneliness, that communication, that integration, they're finding it very difficult. Some go into depression, and we really were worried about that. It's best to get these elderly women, who are actually the foundation of our community. They came in the 50s, 60s, wasn't easy, the sacrifices they made, and it was about time that we started giving them that respect, that adab, which we require, which Islam and Deen teaches. So we thought it would be better to get the like-minded women, women of same age, to the academy, over a cup of tea, cup of coffee, and they'll be able to talk about the olden days. They'll be able to talk with one another. They'll be able to communicate with one another. And alhamdulillah, we've got a couple of sisters, mashallah, voluntary, alhamdulillah. They were ready to look. We'll make the tea. So they make the tea from home. They bring it here. They bring the desi tea from home. They bring it, and mashallah, we have about 12 to 15 women coming in. And alhamdulillah, when you see them talking to one another, it's so soothing to the heart and heartwarming that our grandmothers and our, mashallah, mothers are sitting there talking, that sometimes they're alone at home. The husbands have passed away many years ago. They need that support, they need that caring, they need that sort of happiness. And alhamdulillah, and one amazing story, one incident actually, is about one mother. She would hardly speak to anyone. She was alone at home. She had a good family, but she wouldn't speak. She wouldn't open up. And then once we started this coffee afternoon for the elderly, and we would now bring her in. She was finding it difficult to walk, but she'll come somehow, mashallah, 1 week, 2 week, and then she actually liked it. And then she would come, and then slowly she started opening up, and she started talking. And then one day we see the smile on her face as well. So we said, wow, now this is it. This is our sadaqah. This is our akhirah. And she started talking, opening up. And her son would say to me, we had a program a yearly sort of program, annual program regarding mental health and that whatever. And her son would come to us, and he gave a 2 minutes talk, and he said his own experience. How his mother has benefited at home. She would hardly speak, but how she's opened up and she started talking. That itself was a miracle itself.
Sheikh, just what you've just mentioned right now, and Bilal Academy giving that platform, this should encourage everybody listening. Just this one story, how it's benefited an elderly, everybody listening. This just is enough for people to come on and donate and support the cause of Bilal Academy.
And you know what's amazing sacrifice on her part? Her husband is going through dementia and severe dementia. So you just think what she must be going through. But this is the time when we need to support them and we need to be there for people. And this is amazing. And we thought, inshallah, we wanted to prosper even more and more elderly coming in. It's open for anyone every Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's all free, and we're there to give that warm welcome and over a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Inshallah, it will be very beneficial.
Sheikh, it's not. Just correct me if I'm wrong. It's not only for Muslim ladies. It's for anybody.
Anybody,
See,
anybody.
and that's another
Mashallah,
thing. It's not only for
mashallah.
Muslim women. It's for any elderly that wants to come to Bilal Academy and have that sit down and have that coffee. So that's it.
Mashallah, mashallah. And I think that will, if Muslims and non-Muslims were able to actually come there and sit together, there'll be so much work of dawah that'll be going on there, so much immense amount
Amazing.
of, from that point of view. And that's just one example, and that's just the coffee morning. And then at the same time, we've got a whole host of different activities around for the youth and to develop the IT and develop the work with computers and all the rest. And Molna Harun, can you please come in with that and maybe enlighten us with some of the good work going on with the work with computing?
I mean, the Sheikh could elaborate a bit more about the IT and all of that. But what Bilal Academy is opening up to is giving the youth an opportunity to come in and develop the skills. And how many? Look, here we're not saying the massages don't do this. Masjids are just specific where people read namaz, a few little things happen there. But community institutes open up doors for opportunities for everybody really. So the youth are able to come in, and the Bilal Academy is giving them opportunities, training in different things, different fields where they can support them, and these youth are coming in and learning and taking all that stuff back with them. Are we getting a call?
No, no.
Sorry, yeah. So I think Bilal Academy, and that's why we're saying to everybody, please support, because this is what Bilal Academy wants to do. It wants to give youth more opportunity, develop their skills. For that, you need financial support.
Of course, of course.
And the financial support is probably one of the most important thing. And if the community support Bilal Academy, they can open other classes, other things, areas where the youth can come in and develop their skills. If it's in IT, if it's in teaching, if it's so many different fields that you could open up. Sheikh, do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. What we're trying to do is there's a lot of unemployment as well. So what we're trying to do is come in, give them good IT lessons in IT, etc. Build up their skills, so then a better chance of good employment, good work, good job, a good profession. And what we're trying to do is to train them to be good leaders. What we need today in our youth is good leaders, leadership. Leadership can happen when people are ready to take responsibilities. And this is something we need to work on the youth from a very young age, that learn to take responsibilities. If this is where the parenting comes in as well, can make sure, give them responsibilities, keep them busy. In that way they'll stay away from mischief, stay away from misbehavior, stay away from other antisocial behavior, and give them response to it and give them leadership. That would be a stepping stone for being good leaders in the future. So when they come, we give them that job aspect, and we don't just telling them, okay, just go for a job. No, go for leadership as well. Build those skills. Subhanallah, if you're a good leader, subhanallah, that can be a means of dawah itself as well.
Mashallah, mashallah. I'm all for this idea. I often think myself that it's a shame that our Muslim community, often when you see professions, they are not focusing their youth on becoming doctors, engineers, lawyers, accountants, policemen, firemen. We're not developing them to be more confident and more independent. We're not focusing them on pushing them to say, make sure that you can achieve, get the highest and best degrees and all the rest. And if we can do that work of dunya, which is a part of their deen, to be successful in the work of dunya, to do well in computing, to do well in the sciences or whatever else is a real plus. And especially if we can get our girls as well, not just the boys, but our girls actually interested in these types of activities. It's really important that then they are ambassadors for the deen of Islam. in all fields of life. We don't want to just be a community who are inward looking. We don't want to be people who are just focusing on our salah, and obviously that's critical, absolutely critical to have the activities of our deen going on, but to work in this dunya and to be ambassadors. And if I think if you're working with the youth and developing them that's really positive. And I think if we can elaborate and expand on how this is useful for our youth, how youth could be harnessed to become dais for the deen of Islam through the Bilal Academy, then that's really critical. Can you see yourselves in the future developing any further activities, or have you got any ideas for developing new initiatives within Bilal Academy?
Yeah, I think one of the aspects that we're really looking at, but requires a lot of research, making sure we have the right people, professional people in this aspect as well, is, like I said, we really want to reach out to those people who are going through a lot of issues in their life, especially social problems, abuse as well, and abuse of different kind, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, violence, etc. What we want to actually establish a helpline for brothers, sisters, elderly, young, who are going through abuse and they do not know who to talk to, who to turn to. So what we want to try at the academy as well, inshallah, with the professional people here in hand, ready to give them the help. So it's a helpline call. They can come with great confidentiality. Inshallah, we're ready to help them, support them, see what we can do, and then we can also, guide them towards the right organizations after as well, right? Where they can get more help as well if this is required. So at least they know there's someone there from our community that we can talk to.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I want to again reiterate the bank details and the account name for listeners. It's the Bilal Academy, that's the account name. Sort code is 602222. The account number is 6755 9662. Sort code 602222. Account number 6755 9662. The Bilal Academy. We're coming up to the last 10 or 11 minutes of the show now, and I think really it's about summarising and thinking about how the Bilal Academy has been useful within the community of Walsall, and how we could look to expand this maybe in other communities. What advice and guidance would you give to masajids around the Midlands, around the whole UK, whoever's listening, wherever they may be, because we go internationally with the Facebook and online. How easy is it to develop this type of a masjid, or an academy, which is more focused on ensuring that the people who attend and the people who take part in it really have benefit from their personal needs and whatever they wish to gain out of it?
I would say that it's quite easy, to be honest, but what it does require, it requires a bit of planning. Okay, anything we do requires planning, and first thing is make sure that you get at least 6 to 8 group of people who are passionate about this, because if you're passionate, then Allah's help comes, then it becomes successful. So you've got to be passionate about, you really want to do this, you really worry about all these issues and all these projects that we talked about, you really care about it, you care about those people. Then once you've got those individuals who really care about it, get them together, and then I'm telling you, the sky's the limit, because once you've got passionate people passionate about this, you give them each responsibility, you take up this one, and then you won't need to do anything, because they're so passionate about it, they're ready to give any time they can, because they've got so much love for it. The problem is when we don't have passionate people, you've got a lot of people there, but they're not really passionate about it, then unfortunately it has a negative effect.
And it's when committees are controlling everything and they want to keep everything to themselves and not let it go out to community and people running things and all the rest.
Definitely. I haven't got an issue with the management running any masjid, because it's not easy running masajid, because we have community of different people, different challenges, and different communities have different challenges as well. So what it is just that it's more about giving people that opportunity, to be honest. Okay, we're here in the management, but look, we got a community of about 1,000 people, 12,000, 5,000. Okay, let's go out there and reach to them. And you take this is your responsibility. You take, and you just come and give us a feedback. That's what we're doing at the academy, because impossible for one people to do everything.
We've got a caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Humaira. I just called to say me and my sister go to Bilal Academy and we really enjoy it and have learned a lot, and all my teachers are helpful and nice.
MashaAllah, Amira. And it's how old are you, Amira, first of all?
I'm 9 years
9,
old.
mashallah. And you say you regularly attend the Bilal Academy. And what's the most favorite activity? What's the best activity you like doing there?
Fatima, for the activity?
Reading my Quran.
MashaAllah.
mashallah.
Humaira, do you read your Quran at home?
Yes.
Good girl, good girl. That's my daughter, actually. So she's mashallah. I see. So Humaira, would you encourage other people to come and study in Bilal Academy?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to hear.
We've got a bit of an echo going on there because I think you've got the radio listening to us at the same time. So when you do, please phone. Please try to reduce the volume of the radio itself. But Humaira, are you still with us?
Yes.
MashaAllah. What message would you like to give out to your brothers and sisters, your people of your age out there who are maybe listening to this show about our Bilal Academy? Why are we most proud of it? Any key messages?
That all the ustads are really nice, and all the ustads and officers are really nice.
Ustads are really nice. MashaAllah. Excellent, excellent.
And the offers,
How is your Ramadan going, Humaira?
good.
You enjoying it? Are you fasting as well?
Yes.
MashaAllah, very good,
mashallah.
very good. At the age of 9, that's very
And
impressive.
Sheikh, we're saying this. This is what we want. We want the youth, the youngsters, the youth growing up, no matter what age they are, to understand the value of Islam. And
Of
these are
course.
the institutes that create that value, show that value, and give them a platform, give them a pathway to follow. Like the age of Humaira, there's many girls and boys that go to Bilal Academy at that age. MashaAllah, they are building that, developing that up.
Well, anyway, mashallah, jazakallah khair, Humaira, for phoning us at Radio Ramadan Wolverhampton. May Allah bless you, and thank you very much for your contribution today. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, mashallah, we had Humaira there, who was from Walsall, who's talking to us about Bilal Academy, and she loves the ustads, apparently, so
Mashallah.
that's something, right? Because I remember when I used to go to masjid, the ustads weren't the most popular of people. But I shouldn't say that on the radio, should I? Because if they're listening, alhamdulillah, they're still alive. I'll be in a lot of trouble the next time they see me in Asda or somewhere. They'll say, what were you saying on the radio about us? Alhamdulillah. The most important thing is that we are working in the deen, working for the deen of Allah, and the people who are benefiting, the people who are coming and attending, and people who are being supported by this are happy. And that's really important. It's like the model of Masjid Nabawi, as you were saying. It's a community centre, it's a social gathering. It's not just a place for coming and doing ritualistic salah. But Maulana Harun Sahib, you wanted to come in.
Quickly, just wanted to tell the listeners on radio, mashallah, my Ibrahim touched on it slightly before, where you said about when every community should strive for this institutes. They should try to establish institutes as much as they can, because it gives more opportunities. And through that struggle, you will get people who will constantly say, why are we defecting from the masjid? No one's defecting from the masjids. No one's leaving the masjids. People are just opening another area for opportunities for other people. And Sheikh Ibrahim went through those struggles in our own community, but we always say to people, please donate, support people who want to open institutes like Bilal Academy. And we've got the Bilal Academy. Please support. We want whatever support you can, financially, physically, everything that you can do. Come and give Bilal Academy that support. Sheikh Ibrahim, you wanna continue?
Yeah, what I'd just like to conclude on is that, yes, we've got our community engagement projects and everything, but I would still say, and I always mention this, the ruh, the soul of all our activities is ibadat and worship. Always remember that, because at the end of the day, we need to connect with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, that is the most important thing. So just as these community engagement projects, salah, ibadat, worship, teaching our children, they're going to be the flag bearers of Islam in the future. That's why to preserve the iman in Islam is just as important. And every masjid should be a means of, subhanallah, strengthening people's iman. When they leave the masjid, like, their iman has strengthened, their connection with Allah has increased. That is a sign of a progressive masjid, where our connection with Allah is very strong. Because if connection with Allah is strong, then the people will have the sympathy and empathy for the creation of Almighty Allah.
MashaAllah. And I think Sheikh Ibrahim and Sheikh Bashir, they are creating that kind of atmosphere, that love and that connection with Allah and His Rasul through Bilal Academy. And that's why we say it's so important. I'm emphasizing it so much, because this is where these areas and these these platforms are, they need to be everywhere. These institutes need to be everywhere. Whenever we're in need, what do we look for different places for. If financial needs, we go to this bank, that bank, or there, this person, that person. That's how people, insan humans, they need help. People go to different areas for different. And Bilal Academy, when I read this, where it says fitness for women, mashallah, come on, how many institutes are giving opportunities for our women to come and join and have fitness lessons? It's unbelievable. I mean, mashallah, this is why we say Bilal Academy, mashallah, is a unique institute, and I'm sure Bilal Academy needs all your support to develop and look at different avenues, different ways it could support the community even more. Sheikh, do you agree?
Yes, definitely. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Malna, we're coming up to the last 3 minutes or so of the program. I will close at the end, but I want you please to give any departing messages, and it's the month of Ramadan as well, so any reminders for the community out there from the point of view of Iman and Yaqeen as well. Just a couple of minutes.
Yes, definitely. But it's the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is the month in which Allah is reminding us our whole purpose of life. The purpose of life is وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, is to worship Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the most important. Remember, never forget our purpose in life, whether young, old, male or female. And remember, Islam is in our heart, Iman is in our heart. And so wherever we go, always remember Allah is watching. We always will be conscious that Allah is watching. In that way, we always abstain from guna and sin and live a life which is pleasing to Almighty Allah. That sort of life which is pleasing to Almighty Allah is regarded in the Quran Kareem as hayatan tayyibah, a pure, a pakiza zindagi, a pure life.
MashaAllah. Maulana Harun sir?
Just on this note, I would like to say, I mean, Sheikh Ibrahim said it so eloquently, so beautifully. I want to say Ramzan Mubarak to everybody, and Jazakallah Khair, and all the efforts that everybody's doing in different ways to support the work of Deen. And I would like to say, please, please, please support your local community institutes. Everybody give that effort in whatever way, whichever way, financially if you can, and especially for Bilal Academy, the people around our area, Warsaw, it's there to support and help and create the Deen and atmosphere where we can have in place for our next generation to come. On that note, Jazakallah Khair, Sheikh.
MashaAllah. Maulana Harun Sahab, Maulana Isaac Ji, Jazakumullah Khair. Thank you very much for your contribution at Radio Ramadan, Wolverhampton 87.8 FM. Just before we leave, I will reiterate the account details for people who wish to contribute to the Bilal Academy. So the account name is the Bilal Academy, sort code 602222, and the account number is 67559662. Bilal Academy is in Milton Road, Milton Street in Palfrey, Walsall. People who are local to it will no doubt know about it, and no doubt please attend, please go there, please support, please provide your lillah, zakat, fitrana, your however you can. Please support this good work of Deen that's going on at Bilal Academy. In the last minute or so, from my point of view, Radio Ramadan Wolverhampton, we always here to support community projects like the Bilal Academy, and it was always heartening and endearing for us to have wonderful people like these brothers who have come in to our studios and be able to share and contribute what the good work they're doing.
I would just like to reiterate, in the zakat is mentioned, we don't really take zakat, but when people do give zakat, we give it to those people who are in need of it. Because as an organization, Lillah, we only take Lillah in sadaqah nafila and sadaqah jariyah.
Jazakallah khair, Maulana Sahab. So, with those, my departing words is you were listening to In Conversation with Yusuf Shafi, and we will be back next week again, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. to enlighten you, inshallah, with more innovative and new ideas and conversation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi.